Live? Yes, we are. I love how Nadia starts tapping on me as if I can't tell that we're live. What's going on, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with mylifestyleacademy.com. We are live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. And apparently there's another platform that we're going to be testing out real soon. We can go live up to 10 places. So we'll keep you all tuned into what we got goings on, but I am really excited. And let me ask you a question. Are you wondering how to help your team cope with stress and uncertainty and boost their morale right now? Because would we all agree, these are some turbulent times. People need strong leadership. They need someone to help them weather the storm. Your people need you. Your family needs you. Your community needs you. Your country needs you. Man, I'm feeling good today. But these times call for a different kind of leadership. So join us live. I've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bob Heilig. He is your virtual upline. And actually, Bob and I go way, way back. I think we've known each other over 10 years now, which is crazy. Met inside the network marketing profession. We worked together for a period of time there. And he's just an incredible coach, an incredible trainer. In fact, I remember when Bob first started putting out video content, first started showing up on social media, and he instantaneously became a social celebrity. He had such value, such incredible content, and he has a really great way of sharing his wisdom, his tips, his insights. And he's going to talk about leadership, because I think right now, our country, our families, our network marketing teams, they need us to show up. They need us to lead them through these uncertain times. And, we've been talking a lot about that here on our page, because I believe right now it's those of us that show up with positivity. We double down on our goodness. We show up with value. We lead with value, with heart, with love. We can really make an impact, and we can help people, because you know what? This too shall pass. And my faith, my God, my abundant mindset is much bigger than some virus, than economic crash. In fact, I'll tell you this, and I've been talking a lot about this. When I first got involved in network marketing, there was a lot of fear and uncertainty. It was 2 weeks after 9/11, believe it or not. 2008, that was the first year I made 6 figures in network marketing. And that was the year the economy crashed, the market crashed, all these big banks needed bailouts. So I can tell you that through uncertain times and adversity also stems opportunity. And I think a lot of us have an opportunity here to step up our leadership. And I'm just excited because Bob is the best when it comes to this conversation. He's the creator of Legacy Leadership Academy. And a lot of you are probably a part of his community. If you are, drop it to the comments and let us know if you love Bob, if you know Bob, if you follow Bob, and share this broadcast, because this is going to be a super valuable conversation for those of you specifically building a network marketing business and going out there and wanting to build a team and lead others. So Bob Heilig, how are we doing, sir?
Yo, I'm good, man. I'm ready.
Excited to have you here. I would love for you to start off, Bob. I talked a little bit about your background, but maybe you could just give us like a 2-minute synopsis on your background, your skill set, what you help networkers do. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, so we have a leadership development company for network marketers. That's what we do. We specialize in leadership development. We've actually created the first ever leadership certification program for network marketers, specifically designed. It's a 12-month curriculum of coaching and content. It's both business coaching and mindset coaching all rolled up into one. But I specialize in leadership training and coaching because it's the thing that I believe is the biggest problem, the biggest thing that's lacking in people's businesses today. I think we live, it's really interesting, John. You and I, we grew up in this profession in before social media was a thing. And I feel like social media, without a doubt, it's completely revolutionized our profession. It's for sure the best thing that's ever happened to it. But I also think in some sense, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to it, because people have this false notion that social media is their business. And what I try to teach people, and the first thing we tell our students, is you have to understand, social media is not your business. Social media is not a business. It is a marketing tool to help you in your business. Now, it is the most powerful marketing tool on earth, right? But the problem that a lot of people are having, and right now we're seeing this more than we ever have, is they've relied too much on social media. And because they've relied too much on social media, and because they've fallen into what I call the trap of attraction marketing, thinking that attraction marketing is the silver bullet, like if you just get really good at marketing, that will make you successful. It can create success for you, but long term, you'll never build a business just on social media and just using attraction marketing. And we're starting to see that now. So here's what we're starting to find out. We're going through, obviously, these crazy times.
Mm-hmm.
And what's being exposed right now are a lot of people in this profession that have created a lot of success, but they're not really leaders. And we're finding that out right now. And here's how we know that. You never find out who the true leaders are until the you-know-what hits the fan.
Right.
Because think about it, man. Anybody can lead when things are going well, right? And we've just finished up, literally the last 5 to 10 years have been an unprecedented time of economic growth.
Yep.
We've never experienced another period of time like this, especially in this profession. And there's what concerns me. And part of the mission of why we really shifted and focus on leadership training and development, we have a whole new generation of leaders in this profession that have come up only in the world of social media and that haven't known anything but growth.
Right.
And let's be real, man. If you just showed up the last 5 years and were consistent and you got even a little bit good at marketing and you were consistent, you're successful in this profession today.
Right.
And now we're starting to see the first glimmer where like leadership is required. Like when things aren't going well, that's when you find out who the real leaders are. Mm-hmm. And what a lot of people are discovering is they have not developed themselves as a leader to be equipped to navigate their teams through these trying times.
No, it's so true. And it's interesting that you brought that up because I think we were in a company that was very challenging. I'll leave it at that. You had to be super sharp. You had to work on yourself. You had to do a lot of public speaking. You had to have a lot of conversations with strangers or do a lot belly to belly, face to face. You couldn't just walk around and have people ask you what you did. Social media, we can show up, especially if, like you said, we've got some skills, right? We got a little bit of social equity. We got some influence. We can do a post and people respond and say, tell me more. We couldn't do that 10, 15, 20 years ago. And for those of us that grew up during the offline era, right? We grew up in network marketing, doing the old school stuff. The advantage we have is that we were able to develop ourselves and we can handle the ebbs and flows of business. Like you've been through the ringer in network marketing. I've been through the ringer. We've had to deal with some stuff. Yeah. And even though those were trying times, they were certainly challenging. We grew through those difficult situations that we had to deal with. Companies getting shut down, incomes getting taken away, all the things we've dealt with. But I think right now we're experiencing something that none of us have ever dealt with. And I think it's so important for us to develop that leadership quality in ourselves, because ultimately you can't build a big business. Like somebody might get on this and say, well, just tell me what to do. What do I got to do to make money? And we talk about that stuff all the time. But if you don't got this in check, and you don't have worthiness and you don't have belief in yourself and your business, you're not going to be successful. And leadership is everything. I mean, I always tell people leadership development is the major key to creating a lucrative long-term business, because without that, you've got yourself a job. You're not going to last through the test of time, because this is a tough business. There are going to be ups and downs. And Bob, maybe you can touch on, because I know this is kind of the whole reason we put this conversation together is, a lot of us are realizing that social media is not something we can rely on, right? There's algorithm changes. There's all these different social platforms. And let's be honest, there's a lot more people at home right now. There's a lot more people marketing their stuff. Yep. It's just not like you can post before and afters all day and make money. And you have so many clients and so many testimonials and so many people from different companies. You have thousands of people inside of your Legacy Leadership Academy. So you know what's working and what's not, and you know the importance of leadership. So I'd love for you to dive deep on that.
Yeah, well, I'll start off by sharing a core belief that I have about this profession. I believe that network marketing is a leadership development program with a compensation plan attached to it. And I believe that to the degree that you can develop yourself as a leader inside of your business, that you will begin to attract the results and the income that you want as a byproduct. And the problem that people have with this idea of leadership is, and I fell into this trap for many, many years. I spent years in this profession not having a team and seeing virtually no success. And I would always hear people talk about leadership. And I would immediately kind of mentally check out because I would think things like this. Well, I'm not a leader yet. You know, I thought my definition of a leader was somebody that had a team. So in my mind, I always used to think someday I'll be a leader. What I didn't realize is that was the very thing that kept me stuck for years and kept me from having a team. See, here's what I've come to learn. You are a leader the day that you decide that you are. And if you're watching this right now and you're struggling to create results in your business, I'm going to tell you why. Because you haven't yet learned how to lead the most important person that you will ever lead in your lifetime, and that's you. Leadership starts with you leading yourself. And if you can't lead yourself to creating results, you sure as heck aren't going to be able to lead other people. See, here's what's so interesting. Everybody in this profession focuses on attraction marketing and all this stuff. Look, I could put the entire world into your downline. If you're not a leader, they're not going to be there for very long. I could give you 50 personal recruits a month. If you haven't developed yourself to be able to influence and inspire and support them and help them grow, they're not going to stick around very long, right? So we focus too much attention in the wrong areas. But let's get back to this idea of leading ourselves. See, we have a framework inside of our certification program. We've created a framework that we call the 5 phases of network marketing leadership. And every single person that's watching this right now, you fall into one of the 5 phases. And what it is it's designed, it's a business growth plan where we've created a specific set of strategies and actions depending on which phase of you are in your business. Here's where it starts. Phase 1 is the self-leadership phase. And so if it's very easy for you to tell if you're in the self-leadership phase, you don't have a team. So if you don't have a team yet, you are in the self-leadership phase. It means you haven't learned how to lead yourself into creating results. Now, so the question is, how do you lead yourself? Well, there's one important place to start. Leadership is an inside-out game. Leadership, self-leadership starts with you learning how to master your own mind. The 2 biggest obstacles to success in your business are self-inflicted wounds, fear and overwhelm. Fear and overwhelm are the 2 biggest obstacles to success in this profession, and both of them are self-inflicted. They are self-imposed limitations that we put on ourselves. So until we learn how to manage our own thinking, until we learn how to start questioning these beliefs that we have about ourselves and our business that have been holding us back, you're never going to create the results you want. You want to know what overwhelm is? Overwhelm is you spending all day long consuming every single video, podcast, and reading every book out there and never taking action. because you don't even know where to start. It's not having a plan. It's not having clarity. Listen, you want to know the secret to success in this profession? It's not doing more. It's actually doing less. Focusing on it is possible for people to do the wrong thing at the right time. And the reason, there's so many network marketers out there that they're busy all the time, but they don't get anything done because they're not focusing on the right thing. So leading yourself is having a clear plan, but it's learning how to manage your thoughts. And here's where it starts, John. This is the big problem right now, is what we're going through right now today, I believe, is the greatest opportunity that we will have in our lifetime,
right,
to show the world that we're a leader. Now, listen, I pray that we don't ever go through like something like this again. Maybe we will, okay? Maybe this is just the world that we live in. We've never gone through anything like this before. People are the real thing that's destroying our society right now is not the virus, it's the fear around the virus.
Yep.
And people are being inflicted by fear. And the job of a leader is this. The job of a leader is to be a calming force in the middle of craziness. The job of a leader is to be a light in the middle of darkness. As a leader, you have a responsibility when everybody else is freaking out to stay calm and centered, to share a message of hope and inspiration and love to combat the fear that's out there. And what I see, John, and you probably see this on your team, you see a whole bunch of people that are in positions of leadership that are freaking out and falling victim of the same fearful thinking that everybody else is. And they're missing their opportunity to show the world and their teams that they're a leader. And here's how you know who a leader is. They have a different message. If you are saying and doing the same thing as everyone else, by definition, you are not a leader. I look at this today. This is my greatest opportunity in our business to share the value that we have to offer to people, to teach them that if you can master your own mind, if you can navigate your own negative and fearful thoughts and come from a place of love instead of fear, this is an opportunity for you to show yourself to the world. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you see this? I mean, look, here's why you're so successful, you and Nadia. You've been through stuff that most people in their worst nightmares could never get through. You've had companies sue you. You've had companies go out of business. I mean, you've had leaders leave you like anything you could possibly imagine, like your worst case scenario. John and Nadia have been through it a half a dozen times. Right. But you want to know what? You had faith and you understood that it was how that you dealt with those situations. See, the world sees you as a leader that they can go to and trust because they saw the way that you handled yourself through those challenges. Right. And that's what people are missing right now, is they're missing that opportunity.
Well, the truth is that's how you develop experiences also, right? Even if it's a failure, right? You either learn or you win. But the truth is we're never really failing. We're never really losing. We're just learning. And, we've learned a lot through the adversity. Leaders are born through adversity. And I think right now, like you said, man, people got to step up. They gotta show up. And, it's interesting because there are companies right now and there's teams, like we're on pace to have our biggest month ever. There's companies right now that are having humongous growth. And that's a direct correlation of the leadership that's in place, right? Because like you said, fear and uncertainty, it can make or break your business, right? I'm looking at it like the reason we're having so much growth is because we have a safe place. People can focus on something positive. They can focus on their business. We've been teaching people for years now, as you know, to show up with value, with authenticity, to not just be an infomercial for your company. And if the only reason you're on social is to sell and recruit, that's why you suck at selling and recruiting, right? Yep. Most people suck at selling and recruiting because that's all they do. And like you said, it's a lot of busy work. They're very direct. They're always, every time they're in conversations with people, they have commission breath, right? They always have an agenda. And I think around 2010, I stopped doing this. Even before I was using social media to build my business, I decided to build relationships, not be a jerk. I was going to use a different word of choice, but not be a jerk to my leaders, to my teammates, to my prospects, and just continue to develop relationships. And by the way, I don't just mean, and you kind of talked about this, but I don't just mean building relationships with people so that I can sell them. Building relationships with people so that I can recruit them. I mean, I remember when you reached out to me and you said, hey, I need to take a look at what you guys are doing because our company is no longer an MLM. I'm still going to get paid, not freaking out, but I got to go somewhere. I got to do something. And I didn't say, hey, join my thing. I said, hey, that would be a good option for you. But we talked about other companies as well. You know, what was it? It's probably 2015. Around that time, beginning of 2015. Wasn't it 2014, the end of 2014?
It was
beginning of 2015.
the beginning of 2015, end of 2014.
Right. And you had reached out and said, hey, but again, I was being a friend first.
Yep.
And I love one of the quotes I heard you say years ago. You said, why do you love your parents? Because they love you first. And I think this is just so important for us to show up with value first, relationships first. And you don't have to be a leader of a big team to be, like you said, defined as a leader. And maybe you could talk about, because you talked about there's 5 levels. Maybe you could talk about some of those other levels and really the solution for people that are like, okay, Bob, you got me. I want more leadership in my life. I need this conversation. And maybe this is what's been missing in my network marketing business. So maybe you could talk about, again, those other levels, but also what's the solution for someone that's like, okay, I'm ready to up my leadership. I'm ready to step it up. I'm ready to be a leader in my community, my organization. Even if they don't have a team, they're ready. They're ready to build the team. And you know, that actually, just to say something real quick, you said, if I gave you 50 recruits a month, or I gave you a team of 10,000, I've been saying that forever. You know, it's like, how many people would love to recruit Bob? How many people would love to recruit me? Smash that hard button if you would love Bob and I on your team. But if we brought in a bunch of people and we were having challenges, we needed you to talk to people. Could you help us? Could you lead us? Probably not. So if you don't have the business that you deserve, it's because you haven't developed the skills to lead that type of team yet. Now, the good news is you have time on your side, right? You have plenty of time to go develop these skills. But the truth is, most of us, we have a desire to go out there and be successful, but you haven't earned it. You haven't deserved it. You're not ready yet. But that's a good thing, because you wouldn't want to have this massive team. And as things maybe fall apart or there's ebbs and flows, you don't know how to deal with those trying times. So Bob, maybe you could, again, talk about those other levels and what's the solution?
Yeah, let me do this. I'll summarize it in a way where, without being too overwhelming, but I want to make this so that it's impactful for people.
Perfect.
And I want to share the beginning and the end of this process. Okay. There's 2 different identities that we talk about in our program. And if you're struggling in your business right now, this is going to hit home with you big time. I guarantee you. So if you're struggling to create results, you are at the starting point, and you are what we affectionately call a hobbyist. So a hobbyist is the overwhelmed and overworked but underpaid network marketer. The hobbyist treats their business more like a hobby, and as a result, their business acts like a hobby, which, by the way, is not a good thing, because hobbies don't make you money. They cost you money.
Right.
And how many people can relate to having money going out of their bank account every month, buying products and samples and attending trainings and personal development, which, listen, in the beginning, the first year of your business, there is a growth. But look, if you're 3 years in and you ain't making any money, that's not good. You're a hobbyist. Okay. So the hobbyist does things like just stays busy and consumes too much, is easily confused and overwhelmed, right? So that's where most people start in our programs. Yeah. The end point, the goal, the vision of what we want people to become, the identity we want them to step into, is what we call legacy leader. That's phase 5 of this process. Legacy leader is defined by this concept that we teach called total freedom. So total freedom is comprised of 3 things: financial freedom, time freedom, and personal freedom. Financial freedom is obviously, that's what a lot of people talk about. But the reality is this: a lot of people in this profession don't build their business in a way where they have time freedom. They're really nothing more than a high paid salesperson. They have a very high paying job. So we teach people how to create a business that gives them time freedom. But the third freedom is personal freedom. And that acknowledges this, that you're never free until you master your own mind. So I'll come back to that. But when hobbyists come to us, what we do is we start them right at phase 1, which is the self-leadership phase. And our goal with all of our students is to eventually get them to the point where they can have total freedom in their life. So the question is this: what gets you there? There's 2 things that make up this 5 phases of leadership development. Number 1 are systems, and number 2 is leadership skills. You need to have the right systems in place. So each one of these phases has different systems that we recommend: prospecting, onboarding, accountability, retention. But the problem is this: most people haven't developed themselves as a leader. So our curriculum is a combination of helping people implement systems, but then also becoming the kind of person that they need to be to lead people through those systems. But here's the thing that makes this faster. And this is what I'd like to focus on talking about. This concept we call love, serve, grow. So here's the secret to success, John, is have a vision of where you want your life to be. Look at who that person would be that already has your life, and ask yourself, how would they show up in the world today differently than you? So we have this vision of a legacy leader, somebody that has total freedom in their life, everything you want. Legacy leaders live their life by the 3 core values of love, service, and growth. And here's what we can do. If we can start from that place, if we can make love, serve, grow the philosophy of our life, the values that drive all of our decisions, that will be the thing that will speed the process up for you getting to where you want to go. And here's what love, serve, grow says. Instead of having fear as the center of your business in your life, like most people do, you start from a place of love. All fear is the absence of love. Fear is the absence of love. So if you can start from a place of love, and we'll talk about what that means, that gives you the foundation to start serving. And here's the thing. I want to go back to what you talked about with this whole thing of relationship building, because there's this misconception in our profession today that the key to success is just building relationships with people. So here's how network marketers interpret this. I'm just going to randomly, periodically check back in with you every so often and have small talk chat with you and think that eventually is going to get me what I want. And it's not. See, what love, serve, grow teaches us is this, is if you can love and serve people first before you try to sell and recruit, if instead of asking to get, you can first give, everything you want will grow. The more you love and serve, your business grows, your check grows, your happiness grows, your confidence grows, your fulfillment grows. Everything is a byproduct of love and service. But then here, I'll teach this, and this is what people say. Yeah, but I've been building relationships for 2 years. It's not working for me. I'm like, okay, let's explain what serve means. Building a relationship, saying, hey, how are you, is the first step. But service is about adding value to people's lives. And there is another level that most people have to go to. And I want to go back to your example, John, and I want to tell you what adding value is. See, when you and I communicated before I was on your team, the conversations were not just, hey, what's going on, man? How's the family? Like most of us do. You and Nadia spent the better part of a year with no benefit financially whatsoever, trying to get me to do videos because you knew that would help me in my own business. And that's adding value. When my company went out of business, I've never shared this story, and you guys all know this. When my company went out of business, I reached out to John because he was one of the people I was considering joining. But you want to know what John did? This is adding value. He literally reached out to people that were in other companies that I was considering joining, trying to find out for me if it was a good company for me to join. Didn't try to, wasn't like, dude, just join my team. He was like, obviously, I'd love to have you on my team, man, but you're looking at this company. I know a leader. Let me call him. I'll get you in contact with him. He's a good dude. That's adding value to someone's life. That's leading with love and service. That's saying maybe there's a different path that's better for this dude, but I believe that if I lead with that it's always going to work out in my favor in the long run. And you want to know what? That made me want to join John's team, because he was willing to do that for me. And that's the thing about love and service. Now, why do people struggle with this, though? I'm going to tell you why. Fear will never allow you to serve. If you're leading, most network marketers are operating from a place of fear and scarcity with issues of unworthiness. And they believe that if they just make enough money or hit a rank high enough in their compensation plan, that eventually that's what will make them feel whole. Only to realize that there's no amount of money in the world that will ever make you feel more worthy, that will ever make you feel better, that will ever make you feel fulfilled. But what they do is, because they have this lack that they're coming from, they hear about love and serve and they say, okay, dude, I'll do it. I'll do live videos. But hey, I did live videos for 2 weeks and I didn't get a recruit. This ain't working for me. See, here's what they do. If you're leading from fear, you only give with an expectation attached to it. Hey, Bob, I did something for my downline, but they didn't do this for me. See, you don't get it. If there's an expectation tied to you giving, it's not love. Love gives just because it's what it is. The act of giving is enough reward for love. So how's this playing out today? Well, part of what I've been teaching is this. Reach out to people right now and just love and serve them. Drop trying to recruit them. Just check in with them. But then people that lead from fear, here's what they say. Yeah, but how's that going to give me a recruit? Or they say this, but when should I bring up my business? I'm like, dude, you don't get it. Lead with genuine care and concern, and the opportunities for you to share your business will be there. But here's the reason why people can't do this. Because they never make that shift to love. They say, I love my team, but here's the problem. They forget to love the most important person they will ever love in their life, and that's themselves. And here's what I will tell you. You will never be truly free in your life until you learn to love yourself. And here's how I know most of the people that are watching this right now have not fully accepted or embraced or loved themselves. I want you to pay attention to the way that you talk to yourself every day. I want you to pay attention to the negative thoughts, the negative self-talk, the limiting beliefs that you have in your head. And I want you to imagine this for a second. If you have children, I want you to imagine this for 1 second. Imagine you spent the entire day tomorrow talking to your child the same way that you talk to yourself. How negative you are, how disparaging you are, how limiting you are. You would never do that. You would never do that. And you want to know why you would never do it? Because you love them. But the question is this. Why don't you love yourself? Because if that's what's going on in your mind, you have not stepped into love yet. And for me, my life changed when I finally understood that it was the conversations that I was having in my mind, the limiting stories that I created about myself. That was the thing that was holding me back. And your life will change in the moment that you start holding yourself accountable for your thoughts and your beliefs and shifting to love. And that's the first domino that everything begins to change from.
I love that, man. That's powerful. The comments are blowing up. Guys, smash that heart button if this is bringing value to you. And Bob, maybe you could share with these individuals that are listening that are like, mic dropping, their minds are exploding right now and they're realizing what they've been missing. What would be the solution? Where do they start? How do they start going down this path of leadership development, love, serving, growing? I know you have an incredible program in place. But Yvette says, I've never seen John this quiet. That's funny. But yeah, I think it's so important for people to know that this is why you created the program you've created. This is why you've coached and trained, and you retired from network marketing. I mean, guys, Bob's not even actively building a network marketing business at this point. He's just helping others do it. And it's because he has a skill that is absolutely amazing when it comes to helping people, just like all of you. I mean, he is one of the best at this. And It's really something that I've been impressed by, which is why I constantly promote Bob and his training, because there's a lot of trainers out there that do a great job. They definitely help people with the strategies, but if you don't get this right, none of the strategies matter. It's irrelevant.
Yeah. Here's where you start. And you just hit the nail on the head. So we have the first thing we take all of our students through is an intensive mindset coaching. It's I call it our mindset reboot. It's called the Formula for Transformation. Here's what it teaches us. That it's actually our thoughts and our beliefs that create our results. So the thoughts that you think every day, positive or negative, determine the way that you feel. The way that you feel actually determines if you take action at all or how you show up in the world. And over time, your actions create your results. Here's the mistake most people make. They only focus. They think, if I want to change my results, I have to change my actions. So they say, well, I need a different script. I need a different tool. I need to be on a new social media platform. I need to join a new company. I need to do this. They're always focused at the action strategy level outside of themselves, and it never makes much of a difference. This is also why a lot of times people will say, Bob, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing the reach outs. I'm doing exactly what you teach, but I'm still not seeing the results. When I hear that, I know there's only one reason why that happens. Negative thoughts create negative results in your life every single time. It doesn't matter if you take the action. It's the energy behind the words. So if you have negative thoughts and limiting beliefs happening in your head, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not a good leader, I don't deserve this, nothing you do will ever matter. So the first thing we do is we shift beliefs. Every single person here, if you're not seeing the results that you want, on some level, you have an unconscious limiting belief. Most people's beliefs that are limiting them, it's around these issues of unworthiness. We make the mistake of looking to our past to determine what we think is possible for our future, never realizing that it's the stories that we told ourselves yesterday, the negative thoughts that we thought yesterday that created our results of today. So we just keep looking to our past and keep recreating a future based off of what we don't want. Here's where you got to change. You got to change your thoughts. You have to consciously start to change your stories that you tell yourself, because all a belief is a story. Here's the analogy that I want to use. It's a great analogy. People think in this profession that eventually when I hit my goals, then I'll be worthy, then I'll be happy, then I'll be fulfilled. Never to realize this. This is a really important thing to realize. You will never in your life be more worthy of what you want than you are in this moment right now today. Right now, 2:40 in the afternoon, Thursday, on the 23rd of April, you will never be more worthy in your life. You could spend the next 80 years of your life working hard to achieve your goals. You will never be more worthy than you are right now. You are worthy because you exist. And when we realize that, here's what we understand. This is a really great analogy. I look outside my window right now. It's cloudy, right? So really, this week's been like a really dreary week, right? Gray skies everywhere. Easy for us to be in a gloomy mood. But here's what I know. I look outside. I know that the sky is blue. The sky is always blue. It is never anything that it's been created. It is always blue. Now, at times, it looks gray because there's clouds. But it doesn't change the nature of the sky being blue, because that's what God created it to be. But we make the mistake, because we have the wrong perspective in life, that we look up and say gray sky. And here's the analogy. You're the blue sky. You are your perfect self, created by God in his image. But you've got negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. You've got a gray sky that is blinding you from seeing the perfect self that lies inside of you. And the moment that you can recognize you as having everything you need already inside of you, And that's the story that you start telling yourself every single day, reminding yourself, choosing positive thoughts. That's when you begin to change your life. It's not easy because let's be real. You've spent your whole life getting as screwed up as you are right now. And you're not going to change that overnight. But you've got the ability to. You just have to start managing your mind.
Amen. Y'all loving this or what? The hearts are blowing up. The comments are blowing up. People are fired up. Bob, you're so good. You're so good at explaining all this. I mean, this is why you have a magical skill to help people get into that leadership mode that they need to be in if they want to get the results. And, you know, what you do and what you teach, it doesn't just help people in their business. It helps them in all aspects of their life. And I know that's why in our early years, right, and I talked about this in the beginning, you know, we realized early on that network marketing is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it. And it's so important that we develop character. We develop our leadership skills, our mindset. It's just so crucial, especially right now. Look, it's easy to stay positive when your business is blowing up, you're on the leaderboard, you're cashing comma checks, you're making it rain. Can you be just as positive, even more so when the stuff is hitting the fan, right? When all hell is breaking loose, can you still show up with enthusiasm and that positivity? It's so important. Anyway, everybody's loving this. So Bob, what's that solution? What can people do today so that they can get more of your goodness, so they can start developing into the leader that they need to be to create the life they desire?
Yeah. So I'll just say, join the Legacy Leadership Academy. I mean, it's that simple, really. We are open for enrollment right now. So if you just go to legacyleadershipacademy.com, you can see all the details there. But regardless of where you are. Now, I will tell you this program is specifically designed for people that are in the earlier stages of their leadership journey. So if you don't have a team yet, if you have a smaller team, but you're finding yourself struggling a little bit to create the results that you want, this is who we created this program for. It is the first ever leadership certification in the world. So what we've done is basically there's 4 components to this program. Number 1 is mindset coaching. And we've spent enough time talking about what we're going to do there. We're going to take you through an intensive mindset process, give you a reset there. The second part is we've created a business growth plan for you. Biggest reason why network marketers struggle, aside from mindset, they don't have a plan.
Right.
They don't know what they're doing. They're just working. They're just, oh, this guy said do this, and this guy said that, and this girl said, there's no way for you to filter information to figure out, am I working on the right things? Because here's the secret to success. You achieve more by doing less. So we've created a plan, which is this 5 phases of network marketing leadership. First thing we do is we have you take an assessment. We tell you which phase you're in, and we give you a specific set of action steps to get you moving forward. The third component are systems. There are 4 key systems that every single successful network marketing business should have: prospecting, onboarding, accountability, and retention. We've included those as a part of the 12-month certification. We'll help you implement and master those systems. And then the 4th pillar is you. Developing yourself as a leader, leadership skills, team building, confidence, influence. So what we've done is we've created a 12-month certification that covers all these 4 key areas, and it's designed to literally give you everything you need, the foundation to not be a hobbyist anymore, and to finally create a profitable business that someday can give you total freedom in your life. So just go to legacyleadershipacademy.com. All the details are there. Check it out. And that's where I would say to get started.
I love it, man. Any final thoughts on what's going on in the world? I'm sure everybody would love to hear your feedback, your perspective on why network marketing is a great vehicle right now, why you think it's so important for us to really show up and work our businesses, and just maybe sharing a little bit about, kind of your your thoughts on what's going on. And again, you've coached a lot of people from all different companies, so you know what's going on in the industry. You've really got a pulse on what's going on, what's happening, and just the importance of us as network marketers, as entrepreneurs, to really lead and step into that space where we can be a light, like you said, during these dark times.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Look, John, you know this. The secret to success in network marketing is recruiting up. Recruit up. Prospect people that are better than you, that are more successful than you. Like, people struggle recruiting business builders because they target the wrong people. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk to everybody, but what I'm saying is if you can get the courage to go out and start prospecting people that are more successful than you, that's the secret to growing a team really quickly. That's the secret to finding leaders. And what I know is this: it is during times of economic uncertainty that you have the best shot to attract the best talent to your team. Because there are people, successful business owners, high earning professionals, that a year ago, they may not have been open to hearing about network marketing. Right. But now that their 401k is 2/3 of what it used to be, and they literally can't work, and some of them, their income has been cut, now they're more sensitive to the fact that maybe they don't have as much control as they thought they did. So now's the time when you can maybe catch the ear of some of these people when normally you couldn't. So my advice is go out and figure out who those people are and go talk to them. But I'm going to tell you the challenge that people are going to have. Here's the challenge. People that haven't had a lot of success, they're afraid to reach out to those kind of people, because here's the conversation. Once again, our business is all about the stories we tell ourselves. It's all thoughts and beliefs. And the belief that they have is this: I can't recruit successful people unless I'm successful. So they look at their lack of results as putting them at a disadvantage, so that they either never recruit up or they do it in such a weak way with no confidence that they don't see success. Here's the message I want you to understand. Your results or lack of results have nothing to do with an actual good prospect being interested in your business. Like, if somebody's a really good prospect and you put them in front of your business and it's the right time for them and they're open, here's what they will not care: whether you had success or not. They just won't care. They're either going to do it on its own merits or they're not. And what's so interesting is this: we keep ourselves from talking to these kinds of people because our lack of a result. And it's that exact thing that keeps us from ever seeing results. So it's this vicious cycle. So we got to get over ourselves. We got to understand that our lack of results will not keep us from doing that successfully. And you have to change that story that you're telling yourself every day. But I think right now's the time to literally be reaching out and connecting with every person you know, especially those people, because they may be more open now than they have been in the past.
I said earlier how the first year I made six figures was 2008. Part of that was because my business dried up and we were having to work twice as hard for half the money. They said, hey, you got to go get a mortgage license now. And again, the banks were crashing. The mortgage companies were needing bailouts. And, all the real estate was depreciating like crazy. So number one, I started focusing on my network marketing business. I went all in at that time of uncertainty. So somebody was reaping the benefits off my efforts. And I was one of those successful people making six figures in the mortgage industry. But in addition to that, I started recruiting A players, business owners, people with influence, people that thought outside the box. I heard a trainer say one time, if you want to build a football team, you're probably going to want to recruit football players. If you're going to build a team in network marketing, sure, you want to talk to everybody. Yes, anybody can do it. Yes, anybody can buy your products, use your products, benefit from the opportunity, benefit from the products. However, if you're going to build a business and you had a choice, if you were going to hire people as your top executives, your CEO, your top level leaders, you would probably want people with experience. You'd want people that have some business sense. Now, again, you don't want to prejudge people. I got started when I was 20 years old. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. I was a punk. I ended up being a community college dropout. I was living with my parents when I got involved in network marketing. Bob, probably similar to you, right? You were young, had no background in business. So you don't want to prejudge. You do want to talk to everybody. But the first year I started going after those A players, those business-minded people, business owners know business owners, entrepreneurs, success-minded people, people that make money, people that have influence know other people with influence. That was when my business blew up. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think it's so important for us to talk to the chicken list, the people that we're too chicken to talk to, because we don't want to get rejected, because we don't want them to say no. So we don't talk to them at all. Meanwhile, other people are approaching those exact same people. So if you don't do it, someone's going to. Yep. So open your mouth. The worst thing that could happen is they say no, but you plant a seed and you never know. Maybe ask for referrals. So Bob, I appreciate you. You're amazing. You always drop so much value. People love your content. Smash that heart button one more time if you guys love Bob, and make sure you follow him. For those of you that are ready for that next level, check out the legacyleadershipacademy.com site. And Bob, I appreciate you, brother, as always, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.